Welcome to It's a Funny Thing. My guest this evening is Michael Rafters from Kent, and he has quite an unusual experience to share with us. Michael, now I understand that you're quite a seasoned traveller, but there was one particular journey even you were unprepared for, am I right?
You most certainly are. To be honest, if it hadn't happened to me, even I would find it hard to believe.
I'm sure the listeners are on tenterhooks. So what exactly happened to you in September 1999?
Yes, well, it was September the 3rd to be precise, when I set off on a round trip of Europe by train. I'd already done a similar trip round Scandinavia 2 years previously. Anyway, this time I wanted to see Europe, and I have this thing about trains. Ever since I was a kid, actually. So I'm killing two birds with one stone on this sort of journey.
Where did you go first?
Well, I went through the tunnel, of course, but instead of going to France as I'd originally planned, I went to Brussels, which turned out to be really great. Anyway, during the first week of my trip, everything went very smoothly, much to my relief, because at one stage I thought I'd lost my traveller's checks, only to discover they were actually in my backpack.
So when did the problems start?
It was in Austria. I wanted to go through the Brenner Pass, as I'd heard that it's really breathtaking. So I was going to change at Vienna and take the train southbound for Rome, which left in the small hours. Unfortunately, here it comes, I got locked in the baggage compartment on the train to Vienna. I'd gone to get something out of my backpack. It was in there because they told me it was too big to keep with me in the carriage. Anyway, as I tried to open the door to get out, the handle just came off in my hand. Well, I called out for a while and nobody came. It was right at the end of the last carriage and the train was practically empty, so I suppose nobody heard me. After a while, I got fed up, so I decided I would wait till somebody found me when we pulled in at Vienna.
Which I assume they did.
Again, unfortunately not. You see, I'd been travelling for 2 days without any proper sleep and I was really tired, so I curled up in a corner and dozed off. I woke up when I felt the train jolt to a halt, and the first thing that struck me as odd was the sunlight. I was due to arrive in Vienna at 11 p.m, by the way. Then I noticed I was covered in a blanket, which I certainly didn't recall ever seeing before, and then...
Not more.
Yes, and then I saw that the door handle was intact. Someone had fixed it.
You're joking. Well, what happened next?
Of course, the staff at the station came in to unload the luggage, and when they found me, they were pretty surprised, to say the least. By this time, I'd realised that I was in Innsbruck.
Where?
Innsbruck. I could see it written on the platform signs outside, and I was beginning to put two and two together. I mean, obviously I must have slept through the stop at Vienna.
But what about the blanket and the door handle?
Well, this remains a mystery to this day, but that's not all. When I looked for my backpack, it had disappeared, and it has never been found. The authorities at Vienna couldn't find any of their staff who recalled having seen me, so I've no idea what happened. The only thing I can think is that somewhere in Austria there's a thief who likes to mend locks in his spare time and who was considerate enough to make sure I wouldn't catch a chill.
Unbelievable. That must have been difficult to explain to the station master. How was his English?
Practically non-existent. But it didn't really matter, as believe it or not, my mother is Austrian and I can get by in the language. Actually, I consider myself lucky in a way because of all the places to get stranded without any luggage. Innsbruck is probably the most convenient for me, as not only am I familiar with Tyrolean dialects, but it's also my aunt's hometown.
Incredible. Now, Michael, tell me...